tearing out pieces of me to replace the broken pieces of you. Tearing out, tearing out.
And welcome to today's video. I forgot yesterday. I apologize. I had such a great day. I had a massage early in the morning. And then the weather was just horrible after when I came home, and I didn't want to record inside, and I I went and ate and sat down and chilled, and then had to go take care of something for my grandfather. Then a friend was stranded, called me, and had to go take care of her, and then I forgot. And it wasn't until midnight when my husband asked me, hey, I didn't get the alert. And I was like, oh snap, because I didn't upload a video. So I apologize. This goddess is having a human experience still, and part of the human experience is forgetting shit sometimes. So probably not going to be the last time that it happened, but I do apologize. But here I am bright and early for you today, right? And the topic we're going to talk about today is me. My favorite subject. I was at my altar Wednesday, and my spirit team was like, we got to talk about the birth of Ascending Infinite Goddess, the beginning, right? How did it get here? So just to give you a little background of myself, I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness by my single mom, and I never really quite took to the religion. I remember her trying to school me, study with me, and me getting in trouble for always talking about the good people and the bad people, trying to give her the cliche answer. I'm a chameleon, so I can take on the energy of people, right? I know how to be all things to all people, right? I remember having to memorize the books of the Bible, right? I can still reel them off: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth. I mean, I can do all the books of the Bible still to this day. And just thinking, this feels really forced. So long story short, I was one of the first people in the Kingdom Hall, which is what the Jehovah's Witnesses call their place of worship, the church. The Kingdom Hall, I was one of the first ones to have a teenage pregnancy. And I say one of the first ones because it was funny. There was a lot of people that was out there hunching, but the first time that I decided to explore my freedom, I got pregnant by my high school boyfriend. Who does that? And was like, whatever. They were like, you're not baptized, so you can abort the baby. It's okay. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do that. Right? So I'm going to carry the term and call it what it is. Right? Plus, I was really far by the time people realized what was happening, because I wasn't really showing. And I know how to keep a secret. So that was exciting. And then it seemed like everybody started popping up pregnant, and there was one of the girls there that was really good friends of mine, and she actually passed away giving birth. And I feel ever since then, like that's where it really took a turn for me, because I was just looked at like, how dare you? Like, right? Like, all that blame was put on me. And I was like, damn, well, I learned what I learned about messing with boys and having babies from your child, right? Your child was just better at it because they had more experience. But anyway, right? It is what it is. So as I started growing, and eventually I did get baptized after I got married, right? Because I always said I didn't want to get baptized and do something and get disfellowshipped, right? Or excommunicated. And they always were like, well, what is it that you're doing? And I said, well, I want to get married, but I don't want to get married to any of these lame ass witness boys, because they ain't checking for your girl. I mean, they checking for me, but they're not really checking for me, So after I got married to my first ex-husband, to my ex-husband, to my first husband, not my ex-husband. After we got married, I went ahead and got baptized, and then moved out of state. I moved to Kentucky with him on the military base. And I gotta think. Okay, so I want to say that was 2007, 2008 that I got baptized. And then I tried to continue going to the Kingdom Hall. I really got baptized because I didn't want to leave and something happened to the elders in my family, my grandmother, things of that nature, and they not see me make progress. So I really did it for them. It wasn't for me, okay? And I think they kind of knew that too. So when I was in Kentucky, I befriended some of the locals there and tried to keep going to the Kingdom Hall, and it really never stuck with me. And then they were making all these changes in the religion, and I was just like, I can't keep the facade up too much, but I keep going to the hall, but it's all I knew. So I kept kind of gravitating towards it because I didn't know how to function outside of the Kingdom Hall or the Jehovah Witness dynamics. So when I moved from Kentucky after my divorce, and I moved back to Florida, and for a year I was, by myself, me and my children, trying to get myself together, because I went from my mama's house with children to my husband's house with children. And then right after my divorce, I moved with my now husband, aka my baby daddy, right? My daughter's father. And I was just like, it's too much. I need some time for myself to breathe. So I left him and went with the children and struggled for a year by myself, but had to find myself, rejuvenate myself. And then in 2012, I moved to where we are now, here in Central Florida, with my baby daddy. He wasn't my husband at the time. And still was trying to keep the facade, because again, although I wasn't active in the Kingdom Hall, I was still trying to deal in the parameters, because I was afraid of what other people would think, of what my mama would think. And the witnesses had knew I was coming, and I was like trying to hide from them and lie to them. And it was one day in the parking lot of my job, my old job, the one that I quit 6 years ago, best decision, of my old job. And my husband was talking to me, and he never really was religious. He was always spiritual, always into things, always talking about astrology, talking about the planets. And I would just be like, Jehovah gonna kill you, Jesus gonna bust your forehead, the angels gonna smite you down, Armageddon is gonna come and you gonna die, and I don't want that. Like, stop talking the way you talk. I used to be one of those, real scared, right? The fear kept me in the religion. And it was one day in the parking lot of my job, coming back from my lunch break, my husband was dropping me off, and he had said something, and it triggered me so bad. And I was just yelling and screaming, and I was like, I want to marry you, I want to be with you, but you keep talking about Jesus isn't real, and you keep saying all these things, and I can't be with you. If you gonna die, I can't be with you for a short amount of time, and then you die, and I don't see you again in paradise. Yeah, tears and everything. Went into work after lunch break looking crazy as fuck, but I was just like, whatever, like, it is what it is. And I told him, okay, when I get home, I need you to break these things down to me. I need you to break it down to me like I am freaking 5 years old. And he put me on to Santos Banaki, watching some of his lectures. As he being an ex-Jehovah's Witness, it really resonated with me. Put me on to, gracious, he's gonna kill me, but I can't remember the other lecturer name that he's watched all the time. I don't remember. If I remember, I'll say it later. But just watching a couple of these different lecturers and getting light, and he would break things down to me, and he really taught me like I was 5. And I was like, okay, this makes sense. And it gave me the strength to let my mom know, okay, this is who I am. I can no longer pretend to be a facade. That was in 2015, maybe. Yeah, 2015. 2014, 2015, around there. And I was just like, okay, I can no longer, no, it may have been earlier than that. It may have been 13, 14. I spoke to her, gave her, I gave her some things that was on my heart. I gave it to her. I got it off of me and gave it to her, let her know what had to be done, what had to be said. Quit going to the hall, apologized to the children, but told them that we did need that foundation, because it's important for you to have a religious foundation so that you know the BS, okay? So you don't waver, all right? So I'm thankful for that experience with them. And then I started watching a lot of Ralph Smart. I started learning about affirmations and manifestations and birth charts and numerology, and I just started going and going and going. And I always wondered about my grandmother, who was Cuban, my mom's mom, and just asking questions about her, finding whatever information I could, tapping into her energy. Then I started learning about ancestor altars. And then in 2018, watching one of Ralph Smart's videos, he was like, you don't know who you are until you name yourself. So what is your name? And I had just did a meditation, meeting my spirit guides and finding out their names. So I was like, okay, all right, we gonna rock together. So I need you all to tell me what is my name. Who am I? Okay. So this is 2017, 2018. I was like, who am I? And I just kept meditating on that, meditating on that. And I always had an affinity for the infinity symbol, right? It's my husband's name, and he has a matching tattoo with mine on there, and with my name in it. And I have it on my wall in my room, and I always just had an affinity of it, right? I wear a size 8 shoe. My ring size is 8. And 8 always followed my life. My birthday is 2/28, 85. So a lot of 8s around following me, and I was just like, man, that's just infinity. That's infinite. I'm an infinite being. And I kept hearing Bob Proctor in my ear. You're an infinite being. You're a spark from the infinite. And I was like, okay, good, okay, great. I'm learning. And I was watching a lot of YouTube card readers, tarot readers, and I was like, oh, I don't really rock too much with the tarot, but I love this oracle. Like the oracle that they were doing, I loved it. And then in 2018, in a meditation, I met my higher self, and the energy was just, you're a goddess, right? My husband used to always tell our daughter that she's a goddess, and they're like, you can't birth a goddess unless you are a goddess yourself. And I was like, okay, that's great. And then and my name of my financial business was always Ascension. That was my theme. I thought I was brand new. I was like, Ascension, Ascension, Ascension. And they're like, that's because you're ascending, right? You're growing. And I was just like, wow. And then it just said Ascending Infinite Goddess. And I was like, oh shit, okay, that's who I am. Thank you. Thank you. So I sat with it for a moment. I was just so elated. And then I changed my YouTube name handle, and then they're like, you need to start putting videos on YouTube. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And they're like, yes, you need to do that. So finally in 2019, I started doing my YouTube channel, my YouTube videos. And I like I said, I always loved watching card readers on YouTube, and there was one particular person I liked to watch, Melanie Beckler, Ask Angels, and she did a course for how to read angel oracle, and I took her course, and I was like, I don't really need a course. I can do this by intuition. And I started reading, bought a couple decks, started reading for friends and people who wanted to, for free of charge, and they just gave me the confidence and the boost, and I just kept going. And here I am today, 2021, October 2021, and I haven't stopped. And I'm just so thankful for that experience. I'm thankful for everything that I went through. But allowing myself to meditate and grow into who I am authentically, unapologetically, was a huge, 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 huge step for me, and so very important for me. And I admonish you to do the same. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what walk of life you're in. You can do it too. Okay, so that's all I have for you today, wealthy family. A bit of a story time. But that is that. If you are on Melanated People with me, follow me, because Saturday, for Sam Wayne, I'm going to do some live readings, some questions for people. So check me out there. All right. And until then, stay alert, stay aware, and live in love. Peace.